Revolt of the Dwarves. An endless quest book. Whimsy, what is this thing? How can we get loose? You scream. I can't breathe. It's a wood golem. My spells won't work on it, nor will my weapons. Those marks on its forehead are magic symbols. We've got to try to stop it somehow. I've only got one idea. The golem raises you higher. You are afraid that it is going to throw you. The magic symbols on its forehead must mean something. Maybe even something important. Maybe if you messed up the words, you could mess up the monster. A slash of lightning tears across the sky, outlining the fearsome creature. Reaching over, you slash your knife through the carving. In the blink of an eye, the golem's arms freeze. You are left hanging in midair. Somehow, you manage to wiggle out of the wooden fist. A shout of joy tells you that Whimsy is also successful in freeing herself. You crawl down the gnarled, muscular wooden arm, and then down the bark-covered body to the ground, and Woofy leaps happily at your feet. That was wonderful. You're almost clever as I am, says Whimsy, jumping up and down with glee. How did you know to do that? I didn't know you knew any magic. Your chest fills with pride, but reluctantly you admit, I don't know any magic. I just figure that those symbols wouldn't have been there if they weren't important. Well, I'm so glad it worked and we didn't get smashed. But my ribs are going to be sore for a week, moans Whimsy. Let's get out of here before something comes to see what happened. Your thought of another monster is so awful the three of you turn and run on into the forest. When will I meet your king? Oh, we're nearly there, answers Whimsy. In fact, we're here. Turn toward me. Whimsy places one small hand over your eyes and whispers softly. As she speaks, you forget what she is saying. Then she takes your hand and leads you to a hole in the base of an ancient tree. Down, down you go, through a well-worn tunnel that spirals into the earth. When at last you stop, Whimsy mutters the magic words again. Where are we, Whimsy? You ask, rubbing your eyes. What happened? Did I go to sleep? You open your eyes and blink with amazement. You are in a large underground cavern. Above you, the roots of the forest poke through the earthen ceiling. They are covered with a shiny white fungus that lights the cave with a soft glow. Bright green cushion moss carpets the ground, and large red and orange mushrooms dot its surface. In the distance you can see a clear blue lake with small islands and many bridges. What does this mean, whimsicality? Why have you broken a rule and brought a human into our secret caves? Explain yourself, demands a gruff voice. Oh, Orf, don't be such a grump of a king. You know I wouldn't have done it if it weren't important. Besides, Galen won't remember anything. I cast a spell of forgetfulness before we even came in. Well, spell or no, what can be so important that you would bring a human into our midst? Oh, great news and great fun, that's what. The dwarves and that nasty Sneed are planning to kill the young prince and take over the humans' kingdom. Great fun? What do you mean, great fun? Roars Orf. That could mean our ruin, disaster. After all the tricks we played on them, they'll do their best to wipe us out. Especially Sneed. He's never forgiven us for the time he fell asleep in the forest, and we carried him high up into that big tree and tied his beard around a branch. Remember how mad he was when he woke up and fell? I've never heard such interesting curses in my whole life. And so you see, my dear young Whimsy, if they succeed in their plan, they'll chop down our forest, burn it to cinders. We've got to stop them. Oh, goody, great fun after all, laughs Whimsy, clapping her tiny hands gleefully. Listen, everyone, she cries, I've got this great plan. Let me tell you about it. And then all you can hear are whispers and giggles. No one pays any attention to you, So you sit down next to Woofy and wait. After a long while, the pixies break their huddle and hurry away, all giggling to themselves. Finally, Orph approaches you. "Galen," he says, stroking his long white beard, "we think we have a plan that will save the prince, the kingdom, and of course your parents. But the plan will require your help if it is to work. Are you brave enough to help?" "Tell me what I have to do, you say?" "Well, first, the prince must be told of the danger, so that he can muster his army," says Orph. "None of us can warn him. If he sees us, he'll think it's a trick. Because, well, pixies have a reputation for, well, not being serious. It has to be you." "But how can I reach the prince?" "Well, there are at least 2 ways I can think of," replies Orph. "1. You can ride your dog into the city and try to warn the police. Or the prince, not the police. 2. You can let us fly you in. Or, if you must, you can stay here and let us try to do it all ourselves. Again, vote 1 if you want to try riding your dog to the city and try to warn the prince, not the police. Wow. 2, let the pixies fly you in. Or 3, stay here and try to let the pixies handle it. You all have a wonderful and blessed day. And I'll see you next week.